Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 10th NCERT book, that is Periodic Classification of Elements. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we started with the chapter by the definition of classification and what is its need. So classification means we are making the group. Okay, if we are making the group, it means that we are classifying, or we are converting converting many number of the things into the small group, so that the study of each thing is possible. Okay, and if we are talking about the elements, why we are talking about the elements here? So we have seen that matter is of three types, or it could be in the form of elements, it could be in the form of compounds, it could be in the form of mixtures. Now if we talk about mixtures, it means that it is always the components of mixture is bounded with each other because of it is bonded because of the physical properties. Okay, and if we talk about the compounds and the elements are the pure form. Okay, and then if we talk about the compounds, it means that it is the chemicals are bonded with the help of the chemical reactions. The elements are bonded with the help of the chemical reactions. Okay, so this is the main difference between the elements, compounds and the mixtures. So if we are talking about these three things, and if we are saying that there are so many elements present, so if so many elements are present, it means that these elements have to be classified, and if we are not classifying them, it means that what happens, the study is not possible, or the study becomes difficult. Why? Because there are so many. So it has been written that 118 elements are found. Now if so many elements are there, we need to study the properties, the chemical, physical properties of each and every element in detail. For studying each and every, for making the study easier, we can classify them, we can make into small groups on the basis of the similarities and the differences. So on the basis of similarity, we have classified certain elements. I mean, all the elements have been classified. They are being kept at one. It is present in one group. It is present in one. It is present in the form of periodic tables. Okay. So at various times, it is written that periodic classification. Why? This classification was done on the different times by different scientists. Okay. So we have studied about two such classification, where we have seen, studied about the first classification was because of the Dauvergne. Okay, so this Dauvergne has given the law, or this scientist has given in the form of triads. Okay, so Dauvergne triads is that whenever we are classifying three elements, on the basis of the increasing order of the atomic masses, the atomic mass of the middle element is the average or atomic mass of first and the third elements. Okay, so if there are three elements, if there are three elements like lithium, we have studied about the triads, lithium, sodium and potassium. So if we have to see the atomic mass of this sodium, which is present in the middle. So it would be the average of, approximately it would be the average atomic mass of first and the third element. Okay, so this is what is about, if the atomic mass of the middle element is approximately equal to the average atomic mass of the first and the third element. Okay, so this was about the Dauvergne triad, where we have seen the classification was done, and at that time very less number of elements were also discovered, and all those elements were classified on the basis of the triad. So he had made the groups where he classified the triads, means he classified the elements in the group of threes, and then we saw that if the group of threes are present, and the elements are always present in the form of, the average atomic mass was the main criteria behind this. Okay, and if this average atomic mass was the criteria, then the next scientist has also got the way to find out more about these classification, to find out more about these elements. Okay, so here, the next example, the next classification was done by Mendeleev. So we have studied about the classification. Okay, we have also studied about the Newland. Yes, in between we have studied about the Newland's octaves. The rule says, he also has made the basis of this atomic masses only, where the increasing atomic masses were being used for finding out the another rule which was known as Newland's octave rules or Newland's octave law. So that law says that the first physical properties of the first, the atomic mass or the physical properties of the first and the third element, first and the eighth element is going to be similar. Okay, so every eighth element is going to repeat its property. Okay, it would be similar to that of the first element which is present in that group. So at that time he also has discovered there were some elements increased at that time, and then he saw that these elements would also this also has certain relationship. First and the eighth element was having the same similar property. Now next successful classification was done by Mendeleev. Okay, so we have studied about Mendeleev's periodic classification, which was based upon many of the characteristics, many of the features, means many substances, means he has taken up many properties. He has taken up the atomic mass also, he has taken up the physical properties also, chemical properties also, and when he has grouped 56 elements at that time, 56 elements were present, and that all those 56 elements were easily classified. Oh sorry, it was 63 elements, not 56. 56 was just at the past in the Newlands. Okay, and then 63 elements were present, and the 63 elements also got classified on the basis of the increasing atomic mass as well as the physical and the chemical properties. So for writing the chemical properties, he had made two main criteria, that if the element was able to react with hydrogen or it could react with oxygen. So either it could form oxides or it could form halides. Okay, so because these two are very common and these two are very reactive with all of the elements maximum. So he found that if the reaction is happening, it means that different formulas are written. Now what were those formulas? Those formulas were, it was about hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so if the formula was, if it was forming oxides, then it could be R2O, it could be RO, it could be R2O3, it could be R2O4. Okay, so it was like RO2. So many of the formulas were there, which was classifying that any element as being it was able to react with oxygen. Okay, and or it would have been reacting with the hydrogen. It means that it could be RH, the formula could be RH, RH2, RH3, RH4, RH3, or it could be about RH or RH2. Okay, so he has given the 8 groups, means he classified the 63 elements in the 8 groups, but still there were certain flaws in this, there were certain problems in this. So this was the first successful classification. Okay, so today we will study about the what were the advantages and disadvantages of classifying the things here in this Mendeleev's periodic table. So the advantages first. What were the advantages of this periodic classification? So the achievements of Mendeleev's periodic classification was that, see, his work was also being present in the German journal. In 1872 it was published. Then next, the achievements of this Mendeleev's periodic table. See, this was actually the first successful periodic table classification. So why it got success? Because not only the criteria of atomic mass was taken up, there were so many other criteria which were also included in the same. So the first criteria which was included was atomic mass, then second was physical properties, the chemical properties. Okay, so if the physical and the chemical properties of the elements are matching, it was placed in the same column, it was placed in the same group, under the same group. Now while developing the periodic table, there were few instances where Mendeleev has placed one element with a slightly greater atomic mass before the element which was having slightly lower atomic mass. Okay, so this sequence got a sequence, means he was able to classify all the 63 elements which he has discovered, which were discovered at that time. See, he was able to classify all these 63 elements which were present at that time, and this was the major fact, that each and every element got its position. And if the increasing atomic mass was used, each and every 63 element got a place in his particular periodic table. Okay, so while developing this periodic table, he has given the greater atomic mass was placed, and then again it was placed, and the lower atomic mass elements were placed lower to it. Okay, next to it, the sequence was inverted so that the elements with the similar properties could be grouped together. So, for example, the atomic mass of cobalt is 58.9, appeared before nickel, that was having 58.7. Okay, so as you could see, the table is also given here, where the table is showing you, and yes, so here what is being given in the table was that, so this table was very easy to understand. So this table was also having the formula according to the oxides and the halides. Okay, why oxides and halides I have given you. So if oxides are there, so different formulas were written, R2O, then if halide was there, then RH, then RO. Similarly, so many formulas were given. So this R here means it is the element. So which element is going to form the halide will be placed in the form of A and B. Okay, similarly A and B. Each and every column was having two other columns, A and B. Okay. You could see like this. I'll just write two of them. So he has given the new word to these downward rows as periods. Okay, and this was given as the rows. This was given as the group. This was given as the group. Sorry. Okay. Now next is that we have to classify the things, like if it was placed in the first group, it was placed under the first group, this was hydrogen, then lithium, there was, because it was not forming because it was hydrogen, it was only being able to form the group with the oxygen only, reaction with the oxygen only, so only H was placed here, then lithium, then sodium, then potassium, then copper was also placed as under B group, then rubidium. Okay, so this was similar, very much similar, or the similar properties were put under one group. Okay, so why this was it was being put under one group? Because of the different series were also used. So if different series were used, it means that it was having the similar properties. Okay, so what was his achievement? Achievement was this only, that he was able to classify maximum number of the elements. Okay, and it was based upon the different groups, it was based upon the different properties even, but still it got place in his periodic table. Okay, now what happens? What was the main concept? The main concept was that order was reversed. Which order? The atomic masses order were reversed. Now he has further Mendeleev he has given some space in his periodic table. As you could see here, there was no B group. Okay, similarly in the second column, the first was left blank, then after that it was beryllium, magnesium, calcium with zinc. Okay, similarly then strontium, cadmium, after that barium and mercury. Okay, so this was like he has given the concept, he has given the groups, but he left some space. As you could see here, he left some space here he has left some space. Why he has left the space? He has left the space so that if further discovery of the elements with these atomic numbers would have been there, it could be easily placed in his table. So he has already given some gaps so that the elements which were later on discovered, they could be placed in these gaps. Okay, so this was one of the plus point, this was one of the advantage of Mendeleev's periodic table, that he left some gap for the later on discoveries of the elements which could be easily fit in those gaps. Okay, if it was having the similar characteristics, and it was following the increasing order of the atomic mass. Okay, Next he has seen that Mendeleev boldly predicted the existence of some elements that he has not been discovered at that time. Mendeleev named by prefixing the Sanskrit numeral. Okay, he used the Sanskrit numeral for naming his compounds. For example, what were those names? He used Eka. Eka means one. Okay, and the name preceding the element of the same group. So he kept the name Eka as prefix, and then the first element was being named. Next, what is that? If another element was found with the same atomic number, that could be placed in the group. Okay, for instance, scandium, gallium, germanium were discovered later on. So it has a property similar to Eka boron. Okay, so Eka boron or Eka aluminum or Eka silicon respectively. So this was having, see, why it was having the same characteristics? Scandium, gallium, germanium, they were discovered later on because boron was already discovered. As you could see here, the boron was already discovered. Okay, it was already placed, I think this was placed in the third group. So this was placed in the third group. This was first, this was second, and next was the third group. So this boron was placed here in the third group. So okay, so this was already being discovered. So this matched the properties of gallium, germanium, and the scandium. Okay. Now why this was having the similar characteristics? Because later on it was found that it was the semiconductors. It was having the semiconductor property. So this was placed with the boron because it was having the space after this. Okay. So as you could see, you could compare the periodic table which is given in your book. Okay. Now next thing, what was being done, what is being present over there, it was that the person, this Mendeleev has written the name boron, and then Eka word was used in the, means it was used in the front, means it was used as prefix, then Eka boron. Why this was Eka boron? Because he used the word Eka that is coming from the Sanskrit word, and he has used it as a prefix. Okay, children. Next, so what was the next property which became the advantage of this Mendeleev? This aluminum, boron, and silicon, they were having the similar characteristics. What were the similar characteristics? So what was the similar characteristics? The similar characteristics was about the having the semiconducting nature. Okay, so that was later on discovery, but still it was why it was having the similar characteristics at that time? Because they were having the properties very similar to this boron because of the semiconducting nature. Okay. Next, the properties of Eka aluminum predicted by Mendeleev and those of the elements of gallium was discovered were replaced by Eka aluminum. Okay, so this gallium and aluminum was later on exchanged because the properties were matching. As aluminum and gallium was having the similar, like 68 is the atomic mass of aluminum and 69.7 is the atomic mass of gallium. Then formula for oxide was aluminum Al2O3. This is the formula. Okay, so it made that E2O3. Then gallium also made the similar oxides. Then again the chloride was also made, then AlCl3. Similarly, gallium GaCl3. Okay, so this was again means interconverted. So this gallium and aluminum were interchanged because of the same characteristics which was found. So firstly he added aluminum, but after that he added the germanium and gallium over there. Okay, so this provided the convincing evidence for both of the correctness and the usefulness of the Mendeleev's periodic table, because the elements which could also be exchanged, because it was just placed one after another, but it was different in the atomic mass, so it could be exchanged very easily. So there was the concept was that it was editable. Okay, so this periodic table was editable because it was having gaps first of all, and secondly it was it could be exchanged. The elements could be exchanged very easily because of the increasing order of the atomic masses were used in this Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay, next what was there? He has further, it was the extraordinary success of Mendeleev's prediction that led chemists not only to accept the periodic table but also recognize him as the originator of the concept on which it was based. Okay, so noble gas like helium, neon, argon has been mentioned in many contexts before this. These gases were discovered very late because they were inert and they were present in very extremely low concentration in the atmosphere. One of the strengths of Mendel's periodic table was that these gases were discovered at that time, but they could be placed in the newer group without disturbing the existing ones. Okay, so next, what was the advantage? It was the advantage of the formation or the discovery of these inert gases. This was already being done, so it was already being found, and we can see that what were the advantages. The first advantage of this periodic table was that the increasing order of atomic masses were taken, so it was creating no disturbance. Order of atomic masses were taken, okay, which was not disturbing any other element. Second, all 63 elements got a place, they got a position. Okay, next problem was solved. This next advantage was that there were gaps, so that then for the placement of the new elements. Okay, next thing was that there were these gaps were there. It was easily editable. We could easily edit the placement of the elements. Okay, so this was again one advantage. Next thing was that the placement of the place of inert gas. Why it was placed? This was placed, the place of inert gas was separate, and it was not able to disturb without disturbing it was placed without disturbing, okay, the other existing columns of the particular. This was placed, this was discovered, and it was not able to disturb the existing columns. Okay, children, so this was about the periodic classification of Mendel's. These were the advantages of Mendel's classification. Now next thing was that there were limitations of the Mendel's classification. So what were the limitations of this Mendel's classification? So we'll just discuss about the disadvantage of Mendel's classification now. So these were the advantages, and next was the disadvantages of the Mendel's periodic classification. So what was the disadvantage of Mendel's classification? So what would you think, that there could be certain disadvantages also? So that could be one of the point to think over it, that whether this was having any disadvantage or not. So advantages were more. See, what were the advantages? Advantages like the person has given the gaps also. Even he knew that at different levels, at different times, the new elements could have been classified, new elements would have been found. So where could he placed it? It was placed at a particular place in the periodic table. So it was already having some gaps, so that it could easily be adjusted over there, because the missing atomic number was left blank. So that was the place where the new upcoming atomic numbers new elements could have been placed according to their atomic mass. Okay, so next is the limitation of Mendel's periodic table. Fine. So electronic configuration of hydrogen resembles to the alkali group. Okay, what were these alkalis? These were the metals, these were the basic elements. So like alkali metals, hydrogen combines with halogens, oxygen and sulfur to form compounds having similar formula as shown here. So what were the compounds of hydrogen? There was the place of hydrogen was actually disturbing. So why this was electronic configuration of hydrogen was resembling to those of the chlorine and then other non-metals. Okay, so what has happened here? So electronic configuration of hydrogen was resembling it was forming the compounds very similar with oxygen to the halogen as well as the sulfur. It was same, and you could see the compounds of hydrogen was there, compounds of hydrogen, and if you compare the compounds of chlorine, so what would you find? It's okay, form of sodium. So if this hydrogen was forming a compound with chlorine, so what would be the compound? It would be HCl. It was similar to that of the sodium and chloride. That was NaCl. Again, the hydrogen was placed. This hydrogen was forming with oxygen. It was forming the compound of water, that is H2O, oxide of water. Then it was forming Na2O. Similar. This was very similar to this sodium also. Next was hydrogen was forming the reaction with, or it was forming with sulfur. It was reacting with sulfur. So here also it could react with sulfur, Na2S. So this got confusion, means there was some confusion created regarding this hydrogen and the properties of the sodium, but these were having very different atomic number, but still their properties were very similar if we compare to the compounds which were formed with the help of chlorine, oxygen and this sulfur. So this got confusion that if it is reacting with halogen, oxygen and sulfur in the very similar way as this sodium is reacting, but this was having particularly very different in its nature. Its atomic number is different, its atomic mass is different. So this difference was because of certain other things. That is why this was one of the drawbacks. This was first limitation of Mendeleev's periodic table, which means that the compounds of hydrogen were very similar to those of the alkalis. So the property of hydrogen and sodium was not matching. Next, on the other hand, just like halogens, hydrogen also exists in the diatomic molecule, and it could combine with the metals and the non-metals to form covalent compounds. So this hydrogen was also able to form covalent compounds because of the sharing of the electrons. Now certainly there was no fixed position given to hydrogen. So what was the drawback? The first drawback was that the position of hydrogen was not decided just because of the similarities in its products, similarities in its compounds which were formed, and it also has an isotopes. So because of the presence of the isotopes, the properties become different. Okay, so the isotopes were discovered long after it. This also got confused. This also created some confusion in his table. So because isotopes were not easily discovered at that time, so he was having only hydrogen. So he placed hydrogen because it was having one atomic mass. So it was placed at the top. But still, if this matching was there, these compounds were matching, its compounds were matching, then how could it be placed at the first number and this sodium was placed at the next number? Means later on it was placed because of that increased atomic mass. So this created confusion. No placement of the hydrogen was being made in the table. So he could not assign. This was the first limitation of Mendeleev's periodic table. Fine. So he could not assign a correct position to hydrogen in his table. Next was that isotopes were discovered long after Mendeleev has proposed his periodic table of the elements. Now we need to recall the isotopes of the elements. They have the they have the similar chemical properties, but they were having different atomic masses. Now if there were different atomic masses, it means it was very clear that it would have to be placed under the first element. So if we are placing the isotopes under the first one, so it was not having the gap for the placement of these atomic masses, these hydrogen, this hydrogen isotope. So these isotopes of all the elements posed a challenge to this Mendeleev's periodic law. Another problem was that atomic masses do not increase in the regular manner in going from one element to the next. So it was not possible to predict how many elements could be discovered in between, especially when we consider the heavier elements. Okay, so these were the drawbacks of the Mendeleev's periodic table. The first drawback, or the first disadvantage, or the limitation rather, it should be called as limitation. So the word is limitation. What was the problem? Limitation was that the placement of hydrogen, it was not proper, it was not properly placed. Second thing was, because this hydrogen was forming different compounds which was very similar, to the other elements. Okay, so this was again becoming a problem. Fine. So the problem was in the placement of this hydrogen, because it was forming the similar compounds like that of the sodium. Okay, the next problem was about the placement of, after the discovery of isotopes. Isotopes they disturbed the periodic table. Okay, isotopes disturbed the periodic table. Why it was disturbing the periodic table? Because they were having the atomic masses. Now next problem was that the increase in the atomic mass was not regular, in a regular manner. Okay, it was not in a regular manner. So this again created a lot of problem in increasing, because it was not increasing in a regular manner. So the placement of different elements, so we could not predict that how many more elements would be discovered later on. So these were the limitations of the Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay, so this was all about the classification of Mendeleev's periodic table, but still this Mendeleev's periodic table gave a beautiful idea about classification of the different elements on the basis of the atomic masses, increasing order of their atomic masses, increasing order of means it could place all the elements, but still there were some flaws. So these flaws were the limit, they became limitation later on. So the placement of hydrogen was not proper, isotopes were disturbing. The next was increasing order of the atomic mass was not regular. So we could not predict that how many number of elements would be formed, would be discovered later on, where would it be placed, and were there so many gaps that could all means adjust all these elements accordingly. Okay, so these were again the limitation, but still it gave some idea about the classification, but later on this was also discarded. Then again a new periodic classification was done. Okay children, so this was all about the Mendeleev's classification, Mendeleev's periodic table. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed. That would be another periodic table for the discussion. Okay, so that's all for today's video children.